Hello and welcome back to Wicked Crazy Crew TV. Now, if you've been living under a rock or this is the first time you're joining us, first and foremost, welcome. Um, and we've got the small matter of currently running a tournament that is going to determine the first ever Wicked Crazy Pinfalls champion. And I've got two really special and awesome guests on today. We're going to be doing predictions for NXT In Your House 2021. Obviously, that's going to be this weekend. Aaron, first and foremost, to you, welcome to the show. How are you feeling? You've got a fierce competitor against you today.
I'm feeling really good. And yes, Ron is a fierce competitor. I appreciate. I'm not going to talk bad about him in the promos or anything like that because he's been supportive of my shows and stuff. I can't say anything bad about him.
Oh, that is too sweet. Ron, as well, welcome to the show. Are you going to be pulling a bigger baby face than Aaron just pulled, or are you going straight for the throat?
Oh, I'm like, I can't be able to say anything bad about Aaron. Canada rules.
It's the Canada that came out of him, and it's bleeding into you. You can't say anything bad about Aaron. Probably one of the hardest working people in the IWC at the moment. Aaron, obviously check out any of his shows. Your Twitter bio isn't on the screen there, but I'm sure if you search Aaron Entertainment, you will have everything that you need when it comes to wrestling. Aaron, do you want to, before we get into things, just some housekeeping, do you want to plug some of the stuff that you've been doing wrestling-wise?
Oh, yeah. So I do a weekly wrestling show every Monday, sometimes on Tuesdays, but every Monday I recap the news, the most important news in the wrestling world. I do a weekly review of the past wrestling shows, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW. But if there's a pay-per-view on the Sunday before my show, I will not talk about the Raw or SmackDown or AEW Dynamite or NXT the week before that pay-per-view because it kind of is irrelevant. Unless something serious happens on the show, that doesn't really affect the pay-per-view. But yeah, and I did make a video. It may not be a popular topic, but the Shayna Baszler, Alexa Bliss, by comparing it to Annabelle and Annabelle, from the Conjuring universe.
It may not have been a popular point, or it's a point of contention, but it was a very controversial end to Raw. So I think everyone wanted to share an opinion on that.
I think people don't realize the correlation between that and Annabelle. The Conjuring Annabelle. Okay, that's Annabelle, but that's based on maybe perhaps a true story of the real doll of Annabelle. That currently, if you ever watch Ghost Adventures,
yes,
they have the actual Annabelle doll in the museum. And I took the two dolls from the Conjuring universe, and I took the Annabelle doll. The Annabelle doll, the real one, does not look creepy at all. But the one from the Conjuring universe looks creepy. The Lily doll looks creepy. Horror movies tend to make dolls creepy as hell, right? That's the difference. That's the difference between the Annabelles. But the similarities between Lily and Annabelle is a different thing. Turns out creepy the dolls are. So that's why I correlate the parallels in Alexa Bliss. And I'm just saying this: Lily will wrestle, but it's not going to be a doll. I guarantee you, it's gonna be Alexa Bliss somehow as Lily.
That is awesome. You see, the predictions are starting early here. Aaron's already got a Raw prediction. Ron, I'm gonna challenge you. I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Do you have a SmackDown prediction before we obviously get into the nitty-gritty of NXT In Your House? We've gotten a Raw prediction from Aaron. Do you have a SmackDown prediction? Maybe Roman winning the tag titles? Nothing? No.
It's the Roman show. That's it.
I should have started by saying that. I should have corrected myself. But guys, as I mentioned, we are speaking NXT In Your House. Ron, how do you feel this pay-per-view looks, just looking obviously at the current matches that are currently there? Obviously, we're going to run through all of them, but we've got Mercedes Martinez versus Xia Li. We've got Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight. Obviously, the $1 million titles on the line there. And then Bronson Reed and MSK putting all the titles on the line against Legado del Fantasma. Then we got Mercedes Martinez versus... Sorry, I've said that twice now. Mercedes Martinez versus Xia Li. We've also got Karrion Kross versus Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano versus Pete Dunne. Do you have a favorite match there? There's a whole lot.
I'm more interested in like that 5-way title. I think they'll probably be a little bit interesting to see like how that's gonna go, and I'm not sure like with 5 men in the ring, I'm not sure if it's just gonna be spot, or is it just gonna just just gonna go at it and just like duke it out. I'm not sure how that's gonna go, and it's gonna be interesting to see.
It should be interesting, especially when you consider usually triple threat matches, someone's usually outside the ring, lying down, waiting to come back in for their spot. Aaron, is there going to be anything similar to that, or you reckon that they're going to be able to work through that with 5 guys all there in the ring?
With 3, yeah, right. With 3 guys, sometimes with 4 guys, with 5 guys. I don't. It probably takes. Those are usually rest spots, right? Those are usually rest spots. If you know wrestling, when the guys are outside the ring and those kind of matches are usually rest spots until when they have to come back in the ring, they're usually to break up pins and stuff. So I do see some. It's gonna happen in the fatal 5-way match, but it's only be like only a couple wrestlers will do it during a specific time of the match, and then other times of the match, different wrestlers will do it. It's gonna happen. It's just not because it always happens in those matches. It's a rest spot basically.
It really is, and we will build to that. So let's start quite simple with just 2 people in the ring for now. The first match on NXT in your house, and obviously these are not in any specific order, just the order that I've put them in. We start off with Mercedes Martinez versus Xia Li. Now, obviously, Mercedes Martinez got the mark that no one really wants at the moment. Ron, how do you see this match going, and who do you think comes out on top?
I'm going for Xia Li. I'm just from the promos that I've seen. I don't watch like NXT as often as I should. I'm usually working at that time. But from the promos that I saw, and they're hyping up Xia Li, I kind of feel like they're gonna just try to make Xia Li a strong I guess like sort of like a strong samurai in a kind of sense, and they're just gonna and she's just gonna go over.
Interesting. Yeah, and she has been looking strong. They've booked her strong. It seems like she's got a gimmick that they are backing at the moment. Aaron, how do you feel about that prediction? Obviously, Xia Li that Ron's gone with. Do you agree with that? Are you going to disagree? Is this the first disagreement that we're going to have when it comes to the predictions here?
Actually, I kind of agree with Ron here. I think Xia Li kind of needed some. I know. Surprisingly, but the way I see it is that I think Mercedes Martinez. I know a lot of people are going to pick Mercedes Martinez because maybe she's in the higher echelons in terms of the women's division in NXT. She just had a title match with Raquel Gonzalez about a month ago, but I think she's out of that title picture, and I think Xia Li needs to win more the booster up in the women's division. Obviously, I don't think Xia Li is going to win a women's title or anything of sorts because in the next few months, maybe in a year from now, because Raquel Gonzalez is going to hold it for a long time. But it doesn't definitely help her. Help her in terms of the women's division being higher up in the women's division by beating Mercedes Martinez, a veteran who's been in the ring with Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez. And Mercedes Martinez, I think, is one of the few women that's going to get caught up to the main roster between now and September. And that's why I think Xia Li is going to go over.
Aaron, with all of the predictions at the moment, and you mentioned that Xia Li is probably going up. Well, there's certainly 2 people that are going to be going up during this pay-per-view, and they're going probably, one would say, straight to the moon. It's Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight. I'll come to you, Aaron, first for this one. Obviously, big news this past week on NXT. The $1 million title has been brought out of retirement, and that's going to be placed on top, dangling, above the ring, waiting for either Cameron Grimes or LA Knight to be able to claim that title. Who do you see being able to climb that ladder, claim the $1 million title, and carry on the legacy of Mr. Ted DiBiase?
Well, this is one of the hardest ones I had to go back and forth with because I could see either of them winning the title. Sorry for the phone there. But I'm going to Cameron Grimes here. A couple of days ago, I was leaning towards LA Knight because I think it would have been better for a heel to have that belt and be anointed a $1 million man from Ted DiBiase. He raised his hand. But I'm going Cameron Grimes here. And I'll tell you one thing. This match is going to be fun, but I think there's going to be a lot of humor involved with this match because these two guys, like, this is one of the best storylines on NXT. And these two guys are like, they're great. They're great at cutting promos. They're great acts. Like, it's Cameron Grimes, like, arguably one of the top acts in NXT in terms of character. Right? And then when he got the GameStop stock and all that was great. LA Knight, yeah, his character is great too, but that character came from Impact and maybe a little bit of NWA. But I'm going Cameron Grimes here. A couple days ago, I would have said LA Knight, but I'm going Grimes. But I wouldn't be surprised if LA Knight wins.
I don't think many people would be. And, Aaron's mentioned there how Cameron Grimes has been able, every single time he's featured on NXT, it almost seems like he's always got some sort of long-term gimmick, some sort of long-term plan. When he started that whole money gimmick, being a multi-millionaire, billionaire, I didn't really know where it was going. Now it just makes perfect sense. Ron, does this culminate in him taking the title, or is LA Knight? By the way, I'm contractually obligated to say it that way. I'm just letting you guys know. Do you think that LA Knight is going to take it in this night, or is Cameron Grimes going to be the one to seal the deal here?
The stonks crashed today.
Oh, no.
And since the stonks crashed today, it's LA Knight.
Yes,
Cameron Grimes lost his money.
I like that.
That would be fantastic. And look, I mean, if anyone can play a disgruntled billionaire, I don't think many more can play that better than Cameron Grimes. And obviously, we've got a chat here in the live chat, guys. If you're listening to this on delay, if you are able to listen live, we will have your chats going up on the screen. We can interact with you guys. We've got a lively chat. There's guys interacting there. Anakin JMT says, Aaron, your Raw prediction is nuts. Obviously, we heard that earlier on.
It is. I agree. But I wouldn't be surprised. Would you be surprised if Alexa Bliss dresses up Lily?
It's Monday Night Raw. My prediction is that Lily's going to take over Shayna Baszler's body.
Oh, like the possession.
Yeah, and then she becomes kind of the person that Alexa Bliss sends out to take everyone else out. That's my prediction, but we will see, whether that comes true, whether that happens. There's a whole lot that can happen, which is really exciting.
Either way, it's still going to get a lot of bad talk, a lot of people talking, and not a positive way.
Some people say as long as they're talking, it's a good thing.
Yeah.
We will find out. Ron, we move on to the next match. Obviously, this is two titles on the line, Bronson Reed and MSK. Bronson Reed being the North American champion, MSK being the tag team champions. Obviously, that's Nash Carter and Wes Lee. They go up against Legado del Fantasma. That includes Santos Escobar, who will, I assume, be vying for that North American title, and then Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza. This is a bold thing for, Bronson Reed to be putting his title on the line, and he might not be pinned and he could lose it.
Yeah, it very well can be. But, I'm not sure if they're going to try to make this sort of like how Leon Ruff was the title, was the champion, and just have it just for a short period of time, and then, lose it in the triple threat. So, in this case, it could go either way, but I'm looking at Bronson and MSK to, win.
Which makes sense. I mean, especially when it comes to Bronson, the way I see it is he's only just gotten the belt. So maybe it might be a bit too soon. Ron, is that where you were leaning when you were thinking of your prediction on this one?
Exactly. I'm like, it's just too soon to just give it up. I'm like, otherwise it's just gonna make it look like the 24/7 title, in my opinion.
And nobody wants that. With regards to the North American title, it has had some prestige and some really cool champions. Aaron, are you going to tell me that he's going to lose it and it's going to become the 24/7 title here?
Nope, he's not going to lose it. They're going to retain. Taking the title off Bronson Reed would be a mistake because a lot of people like him. He just won it from Johnny Gargano. So MSK and Bronson Reed are going to retain. It's going to be a good match. I'll say this: if it was just a tag team match between MSK and Elder Phantasma, whatever you want to. Sorry if I say it wrong. If that was just a tag team match between those two teams, I think there would be a chance MSK could lose the tag team titles. But since they incorporated the North American champion in it, there's no way they're losing. So MSK and Bronson Reed retain, just because of him in the match.
They kind of play their hand there, hey, by adding both of them together. I might have been hesitant if it was just MSK against Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza. Maybe they could be losing that. Me personally, I'm a grizzled young vets fan. Maybe it's the living in the UK thing, but I just think those guys are fantastic. It doesn't hurt that I'm a Liverpool fan as well. They're Liverpool guys, so maybe I'm biased, but I think those guys should have the title. But you guys, we've just spoken about not taking a title off of a champion too soon. And we move on to what is probably, no disrespect to the other matches, maybe the second most important match of this night. It's the women's singles title match. It's Raquel Gonzalez, obviously with Dakota Kai. I'm assuming she's going to be ringside, and she goes up against Ember Moon. Now, Ember Moon had a match this past week on NXT against Dakota Kai. She took a while to almost beat her, and then Raquel Gonzalez kind of stepped in. The DQ happens, but Ember Moon ended up on top at the end of the night. They're sort of foreshadowing maybe if something could be brewing there. Aaron, another title where people are questioning, is it too soon to take it off of the champion? I'm going to bring it to you first. Is it too soon to take it off the champion?
Yes. Raquel Gonzalez should not have the title taken off of her because she has to be a dominant women's champion. Look, she's big, strong, and here's the fact: she can wrestle. And this story between the two, Ember Moon, is only about 3 weeks old since they injured Shotzi Blackheart, and Ember Moon wants to revenge her friend Shotzi Blackheart, who hasn't been on TV for 2 weeks because of that tag team match, I believe, right? That they lost to Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon. Then they took him out, right? Well, took out Shotzi Blackheart. That's about that. And I did like the ending to NXT when Ember Moon got the best of Raquel Gonzalez when she reversed Raquel Gonzalez into her finishing one-handed powerbomb into a sort of a version of the Eclipse. And then she gave her Eclipse at the end to end the show. But I'm going to go with Raquel Gonzalez to retain here. Ember Moon is not the woman to take the title off Raquel Gonzalez right now. And yeah, that's my prediction. Raquel Gonzalez retains.
Look, let's hear what Ron has to say about it before I say anything more about this. Ron, Raquel Gonzalez obviously took the belt off of Io Shirai, who we saw come back to NXT this week. So that's a bit interesting. Maybe she might have something to say with regards to having dibs on the next title challenger. But who's she going to be facing if she were to be the next title challenger? Either Raquel Gonzalez or Ember Moon?
That's what I'm a little bit confused about because I haven't been, keeping up to, with that. I'm like, the last thing I saw was, with Raquel Gonzalez was her winning the title. And so, from there, like, I always thought that there was just going to be some type of dissatisfaction or disagreements between her and Dakota. And from there, and when I'm seeing this match and hearing about this match, I just don't really see like how Ember is going to win. I'm just gonna have Raquel just retain the title. I think it's just too soon.
That seems to be the way it is, and especially because it's kind of not the biggest pay-per-view. I mean, in your house, maybe it might be a bridge, and usually in those bridge pay-per-views, you don't want to be taking the title off of the champion. But we've got a 5-way that could slap that theory right across the face, and obviously we've been building up to it. We touched on it a little bit at the beginning of the show. We're coming back to it. Big match. Karrion Kross, currently the champion. He goes up against Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano, and Pete Dunne. Now, there are 5 people in this match. I will take this as a personal attack on me if you guys end up with the same person winning this match. So I'm warning you. Get your picks ready. We've currently got one match that is deciding this at the moment. It's going to be Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight. Aaron's gone with Cameron Grimes. Ron's gone with LA Knight. I apologize, LA Knight. L.A. Knight. But for this one, obviously, as I said, 5 people in this match. Surely you guys are going to have different people. What I'm going to do is I'm going to count to 3, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then I want you guys to shout who you think is going to win this match, and then we can kind of go into the details of why you think that person's going to be. But I'm interested to see if you guys are going to pick the same person. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Cross.
Oh! Did you guys work on these answers before you came on the show?
You know what the thing is?
There's some colluding going on.
You know what I'm saying? This is one of the NXT reviews that's kind of too obvious. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Especially the title matches. With the title matches, it's too obvious.
And I'll start with Ron here, and then we can go to Aaron. Ron, do you then worry when you've got pay-per-views like this that seem a little too obvious that they might just throw a random one in there? I usually look at a pay-per-view like this and think they might just take the title off of Raquel Gonzalez for a week or 2 just to make it different, because it is too obvious. How are you feeling about, or are you quite confident you've got the winning ticket here?
The thing is that you wonder why doesn't that take place in like in like the regular WWE pay-per-views for like the regular brand. I'm like, why is it like that they can try to switch the title over for like maybe a week or 2 weeks or so forth. Like the only titles that you see being changed over like that, I wouldn't would probably be like the tag team titles if I might be wrong though. I'm like yeah, it does make it a little bit more complacent. I'm like and it really depends upon like how entertaining the match can be, because if you think about it, like Roman and like Jey Uso, I'm like everybody knows, oh, Roman is going to win, but the storyline, the technique, the match, it's entertaining. I'm like who doesn't look forward to that? They can do that with this as well too. But like for me personally, I would rather I'd rather have like Kyle O'Reilly win. I would love to see him win. It'd be just a shocker, in my opinion. But I'm like,
would you say it would shock the system?
It certainly will.
Yeah, and look, the interesting thing with this prediction show is you're obviously fighting for a belt. Now, strategically, you might want a certain result in a match, but as you're alluding to, Ron, you're going to end up picking something that you're going with your head here rather than your heart, because you want that title. Would you agree?
Exactly right.
Yeah, and for you, Aaron, are there a few of these matches where you've kind of gone with your heart, or maybe your heart and your head have matched up, or are these all just pure head-to-head decisions?
The only one I remember with my heart is probably Cameron Grimes versus LA Knight.
Interesting.
Because
Interesting
I said earlier, this is the one. That's the one match I kind of went back and forth with. So I went with my heart on that because I couldn't decide with my brain on that, and that may cost me this round. But you know what? Sometimes you gotta take risks to win, right?
You got to risk it to get the biscuit. And speaking of risking it to get the biscuit, we've got a question here from our executive producer. Now, obviously, as you can see, he is in my ear, and he was letting me know that he had a burning question. It's in the live chat, and he's obviously put it onto the screen here from Anakin JMT. And he said, bonus prediction, who jumps off the roof of the house this time? Obviously, we saw Io Shirai jump off last time. Is there going to be someone jumping off? If your answer is no one, you can put that as an answer, but I'm going to give this as 2 points for who you think is going to jump off the roof. Aaron, I see you chomping at the bit there. Who you think it's going to be?
I know I put an eclipse from the Ember Moon there, but she's not going to do it because that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. But I don't think she's going to do it because I would say Bronson Reed, but he can't win the match doing a splash from there, right? Because that's his finishing move, a splash. Maybe Cameron Grimes. I have no idea. Maybe set up a ladder to climb up onto the roof. Maybe I'll just say Cameron Grimes. I'll probably lose, but Cameron Grimes.
You've gone Cameron Grimes twice tonight. Are you gonna match him there and mirror that and go LA Knight? Once again, I apologize, Mr. Knight. Ron, who do you think is going to be jumping off that roof?
Now you changed my mind. I was actually going. I was actually gonna say with that 5-way match, is it going to is it like falls count anywhere, or just you have to just pin him in the ring?
In the ring. It's a fatal 5-way. So it's in the ring.
But it probably will be no disqualification because it's a multi-person match.
I wouldn't be surprised if I wanted Kyle O'Reilly to jump off.
Go with your heart. Go with your heart. Are you locking
All right,
that in?
fine. I'll go with that. I won't go with LA Knight then.
What? You can't just change. What are you locking in? Final answer.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah. You got to go with your heart. At least for the bonus one, go with someone you're going to be rooting for. I think is a good way to go about it.
I'd rather see the Eclipse, but I don't think it's going to happen.
That would be insane. That would absolutely be insane, and probably top what Io did last time around. I wouldn't put it past her. Speaking of not putting something past anyone, we've obviously got the show godfather, the host of this show, the guy that's created this entire tournament.
Hey, how you doing?
And he's here. He's here.
I ran home because of the fact that this tournament's huge. And I just got confirmation from the belt company that it's going to be shipped within the next 8 to 10 days, either today or tomorrow. So It will be on the way. But I wanted to say good luck to you guys. You guys are good friends of mine and stuff, so I have to stay neutral. But really, be cutthroat. I mean, we do have a lot of sharks in the weather, and this is kiddie pool stuff. So why don't you both cut a promo and man up and do what you need to?
They've both been baby faces this
music.
Entire show.
Anakin, get me off the screen.
They've both been baby faces throughout the show, but you've heard it from the boss, the man upstairs, the Vince McMahon of this show. He's demanding promos. So I'm going to speak for a little bit, just allowing you guys enough time to maybe think of a promo that you want to cut. But guys,
before you do that, Tad.
Oh no!
Before you do that,
have your next opponent, guys, because obviously this is the second match in the bracket of the tournament, and Aaron JMT won match number 1, which means one of you guys is going to be facing Anakin in the next round.
Here's the thing, though. This guy cut a promo today claiming that there was some shenanigans with the double or nothing predictions. So, Tad, I have to ask you, as the official ref, do your decisions stand, or are you going to be listening to what Drew has to say, and is there a possibility of reversing this decision?
Okay, first and foremost, I didn't want to do this, and I don't want to be doing this often because, as we've mentioned, I am the referee for this tournament. I'm neutral. I don't have a favorite. I'm pretty much Switzerland here, even though I live in London. I am going to call it right down the middle. The referee's decision is final, and I didn't want to do this, as I said, because the shackles are on me. I'm not allowed to be in this tournament. But TBD, I'm going to call you out here. If you're going to come and bring controversy to the white and black, to the prestige of this jersey, you're going to question the referee, you're lucky. You're so lucky that I'm the referee of this show, because if I was in this tournament, I would have demanded that I would have had you in the first round, and TBD would be over. It would be done. That's it. Out in the first round. So disappointing. And you would have to crawl all the way back to the real head of the table, Roman Reigns, and explain to him, I'm so sorry. I lost this match. And he would look at you and he would say, it's okay, Jey Uso. I mean, Jimmy Uso. I mean, TB. Who are you again? Oh, that's right. You're the guy that lost to Tad Predicts. There's a reason why my name is Tad Predicts. Because if I was in this, it would be over. So we'll put the shackles back on. I'm done with the promo. And I'll say, look, I'm going to call it down the middle. So you don't have to worry about that. It's going to be even.
All right. I wanted there to be clarification so that when Drew came on the main show and started talking, I just wanted to know where you stood. Also, I have to say this, in my opinion, the only person whose name you should ever be saying like that, like you've been doing with LA Knight, is Britt Baker. DMD.
Fair.
Peace out.
Fair. Thanks, Anakin, for coming on to the show. And as I said, guys, this is going to be the person that you're going to be competing against in the next round. Maybe you guys want to cut the promo on him rather than cutting it on your opponents here, because it's been really good fun. It's been very, very cordial between the two of you. Obviously, you guys know each other quite well. You didn't want to cut promos against each other at the beginning. Are you keen to cut promos at the end, or maybe cut on Anakin, or just, you know what, shake hands and wish each other the best of luck? I'm going to start with you, Aaron.
Well, I want to make sure I win first before I cut a promo. If I cut a promo and not win, I'll look really, really bad. I'll be like, I look like a fool. So I better win first, then I'll cut a promo, Anakin.
Okay. So for the next round, you'll save it for the next round.
Yeah.
What about you, Ron? Are you in agreement with that? Save it for the next round, or just go balls to the wall?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be nice and and polite. I'm like, don't have anything, bad to say.
Hey, a coward. I'd rather not look like a fool than I don't want to be a fool, man. I have to come up with. I can't come up with promos on the spot. I have to think about them, and then creatively before I cut a promo.
Which makes sense. Or
I could just be Sting, point to bat at Anakin, and that's it.
Just point. Just give him a finger. Just give him a finger point. He'll know what that means. But guys, it's been so much fun having you both on the show. I've enjoyed the fact that you guys are cordial. You respect each other. You know that may the best man win. And I do wish you both good luck. As I've said, I'm neutral. TBD. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. But I'm neutral. We'll have TBD on the show later on. But guys, before we head off here, do you guys have anything you want to plug, put over, and promote before we do that? Obviously, TBD, Drew Nicholas has mentioned in the chat, wow, Tad, without the chains on him is a meanie. I like it. Respect to you. However, my stats guy has calculated numbers. See you soon. So that's from TBD. We will be seeing him soon. Obviously, he's got a matchup coming up, and it should be an exciting one. We'll see what he can do in that one. But Aaron, I'll come to you. Do you have something you want to plug, put
Yes.
over, or promote before we wrap up?
Usually what I do on pay-per-view days, I usually do a stream predicting the pay-per-views on Sundays, like hours before the pay-per-view, because sometimes there's a show on kickoff show, a match on a kickoff show, but not this time. This time I'm doing NXT Takeover stream preview and predictions, and what you heard today is my predictions. So, but I'm gonna go into more detail about it tomorrow. It's 3 p.m. Eastern time in Canada or the US. I think Anakin's the same time as me. Ron is the same time. I know I think you're 5 hours, Tad, if you want to stop in. Yeah, so 3 p.m. tomorrow, NXT Takeover in your house prediction show and preview. I just got to get the pictures of the matches. Then I'll talk about it. That's tomorrow, 3 p.m. Be there or be square.
Awesome, guys. I highly recommend you guys check that out. Any show that Aaron is on is always good fun. Ron, do you have anything you want to plug, put over, or promote, a Twitter handle or anything you want to showcase here?
No, just stay healthy.
Just stay healthy, everyone. Eat a bagel. Do you like bagels?
Had one last week.
Eat a bagel, everyone. Stay healthy, eat a bagel. Ron, it's been so awesome having you. Guys, from my end, definitely check out the flagship show for Crazy Wicked Pinfalls, Wicked Crazy Pinfalls, Wicked Crazy Crew TV. We've got Wicked Crazy Pinfalls show, as I said, the flagship show. That's going to be recorded, a little housekeeping behind the scenes here. It's going to be recorded just after this show ends, so that should be a lot of fun. But if you are watching this video before you've gone and watched the flagship show, I highly recommend that you guys go and check that out. We've got Ray Angry Beaver mentioning in the chat that it's going to be in 53 minutes. At time of recording, it is going to be in 53 minutes. We got guys warming up. They're doing their stretches. They're doing their vocal exercises. They're ready to talk about. They're obviously going to be talking about the Lily ending Raw. We've had a little bit of opinion from Aaron on this show about that. They're going to be talking about, obviously, Lio Rush mentioned that he is unfortunately going to be retiring. It's a decision I think he's making, not just for himself, but for his family as well. So I think we do have to respect that. Wish him well. To Lio Rush, we hope that, you find happiness, you find health, and he's able to provide for his family. That's all good. But yeah, guys, check that show out. From my end, check everything that I'm doing on Twitter. If you just go to @TadPredicts, you'll be able to see everything that I'm involved in there. I think we're going to end it there. I think that's going to be it. Unless you guys have anything else to say, I'm going to just end it off with, as I've mentioned, the catchphrase that I've been using for this show. It's the catchphrase that I use for my football, in the America, it would be soccer prediction show that I do host. And it is a saying that is from my native Shona language. It means all things come to an end. And as I said, I'll mention it at the beginning of the show, what it means. Later down the line, I'm not going to be explaining it. I'm just going to go off into the catchphrase, and you guys hopefully will know it by then. But guys, Chisinga Perry, Chinoshura.